Hi, Marissa. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Coach Samara. I'm an AZFIT Academy Elite Coach, and I'm talking to Marissa about her experience in the Academy today. Marissa, I want to jump right in here. My first question for you is where were you emotionally and physically before you started with the Academy? And what did you struggle with the most?
So emotionally, I was in a place where I kind of felt like, I'd been with other coaches, great coaches, but I couldn't find what was right for me. I grew up vegetarian. Most of my family's vegan now. I prefer a vegetarian vegan diet. And so I was trying to look for something like that included more than just tofu and salads, right? So emotionally, I was in a place where I was trying to find something that was going to be a great fit for me. So I was looking for something. Physically, I was in a place where I did have I carried a lot of inflammation in my body. I've worked out for years and years and years. I've done fitness competitions, but I was holding, like I said, a lot of inflammation in my body. And me working out the way I was almost counterproductive to what I was trying to achieve, which was, a leaner look, losing some fat. And then just overall being in a much, healthier place with my body and the way I felt in my body.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It is hard when we're working out for so long and we put a lot of energy into our fitness and our health and we don't see the results that we want to see. That's a frustrating experience to be in. And when you are, a vegan or a plant-based, athlete or even just an individual, it's really difficult sometimes to know what you can trust, who you can trust, and where to go with your nutrition, especially in the fitness realm, right? We have a lot of needs that we need to make sure we're covering. So thank you so much for sharing that. Well, my
Absolutely.
next question for you is about what you've accomplished, and you have accomplished so much together with us here in this journey. I would love to know what your biggest accomplishments are in the academy so far. What do you feel like you benefited the most from?
No, absolutely. I think the biggest thing for me was having a switch in my mindset of my workouts. And I know you and I've had that conversation many
Yes.
times. Having weightlifted for so many years. I mean, when I was in college is when I started, that was over 20 years ago. Um, it was, how you weightlift to, get stronger and lift heavier and all that stuff, right? And that worked in my 20s, maybe into like my mid 30s or so. Um, and so I think the biggest thing I've learned has been to slow down
Yep.
in my workouts and the and the counting, the pausing. You don't realize, going lower weight, obviously, with that, you don't realize, or you don't think after coming from a mindset of you lift heavy, that's just what you do, that's how you're going to make that muscle, that's how you're going to get tone. um,
Mhm.
you don't think that, going lighter or slowing it down is going to do much. But I have seen more improvement in my body since we started working together than I probably have in years of, doing the workouts that were no longer serving my body, no longer serving where I'm at in my life, the stress levels and all that stuff, because, working out, I know stresses your body out, and stuff. So it was being counterproductive. And so I think that has been one of my biggest takeaways has been learning that slowing it down, lower, weight, even less of a workout, a shorter workout has made such a difference in my body composition, which is kind of what I wanted to change to. I see that. I see the muscle. I see how my legs are, much stronger and leaner, but I still have some muscle on it. When I walk or I'm sitting with my legs out, I can feel my muscle and I'm like, okay, so there's muscle there, and then, I've lost a lot of inflammation. Um, so physically there's been a lot of changes as well as even my mindset with my diet. Like I've always liked a cleaner diet. I love, the salads and fresh ingredients. And so you when you're not vegan, I grew up vegetarian but not vegan, you kind of run out of ideas. You kind of, well, what's going to work. And so also that, looking at meals can be really good. I mean, there's times where I've like tried a meal for the first time, like, oh my gosh, this tastes so good, like, so, that's really been a huge change for me is the way that I see my food, the way, like I said, the way I do my workouts. It's been a huge shift for me.
I love it. That's so true. I remember our early conversations in the academy, and I feel like mentally you have come so far, my friend. I'm so impressed, so very proud of you. I know, like, when we started, it was very clear you knew what you were doing to a certain extent. You'd been around the block or two with your workouts, your training, as you said. I mean, you even competed, which is amazing. So you knew the foundation, you had the foundation, but there was a gap when we started where you really weren't looking forward to your workouts. You really weren't enjoying them, and mentally it seemed like you were forcing yourself to get through them. And I remember, the slowing it down, the quality versus quantity. That's a hard thing for someone who's been pushing themselves a weight. I know I came from that background as well with powerlifting, and it's so hard to go from I want to be the strongest person I can, lift the heaviest possible, to wait a minute, does that really match my goals? And if I want the body I want, I have to try something I haven't tried before, which is just so daunting for us, right? But you handled it so well. I'm so proud of you. Over the course of the last couple months, I've seen a tremendous change. I almost don't even recognize when when I talk to you, it's like I'm talking to a different person. You have such confidence now with yourself when you talk about your workouts, when you send me videos of your workouts. I can actually see the expression on your faces change. You're enjoying the challenge. You're like embracing what you know works now, and I love that for you. And the nutrition as well. You really have come into your own with your nutrition. You already knew a lot in that area as well, and you were already doing great. But now you've taken it to the next level, and you've learned how to find, how to eat foods that you love the taste of and still stay within your goals and not be deprived. And I love watching you master that skill. It's been amazing.
Well, it's been awesome, and of course, I have an amazing coach who
Thank you.
helps me on the way and keeps me on the
Oh,
straight and narrow. But and then I do also like that, and I think a shift for me was you don't have to over supplement in order
mm,
to um, get to where you want to get to, or like right now I'm trying to balance hormones and all things,
yep,
and not over supplementing yourself. And so that's one thing
yep.
that also has been a huge shift for me in my mind with working with you, that can happen within your diet.
That we do this naturally, right? That's a big one. I swear everyone I meet, it kind of goes in line with the industry these days, right? In the media, it's supplement everything. And I love that we were able to do all of this naturally through diet, exercise, lifestyle changes, because not only is it more rewarding when you do it the natural way, but you see how sustainable it is, right? You see, hey, I can do this and I'm not depriving myself. I'm not shoving tons of pills in my body every day. I'm not missing out on anything, I'm getting it all from my diet. I think there's a magic in that. It makes you feel so much better.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So I'd love to know, Marissa, what are the steps that we implemented in this academy that you're going to continue forward with, even when you're not working with us later in the future?
So definitely the workout, that's a huge thing for me because I teach, and so my days are full of doing all sorts of things. I come home after teaching the littles and I'm tired, so working at making sure I get my workouts in, you know having workouts that I enjoy, and not over stressing about trying to get 10 different exercises in, but really knowing which exercises are going to work for my body, slower, all that stuff that's going to definitely benefit me in my time, because my time is very, very important to me. And then also, of course, definitely like the diet, like that for me. Like there's real no part of me, because I ate meat, but there's real no part of me right now that is wanting to eat meat, because a lot of it was like, okay, I need to get my protein. Um, and now seeing how else I can get my protein, which are ways that I actually enjoy eating versus being like, well, I just got to eat this chicken because I got to have my protein, or here's my third
Yes.
protein shake, of the day. But actually getting that within my food, um, has been, great for me to enjoy a meal. So, moving forward, I've, definitely been saving all the meal plans, and that for me moving forward, of course makes my planning easier for my food and all that stuff. And so makes me feel better to be able to sustain that in the future versus just kind of being like, okay, well, I ate in order to lose weight or in order to obtain this one thing versus it being a lifestyle.
Yes, that's the key, right? The lifestyle is the key there. And yeah, you want to find something that's sustainable. You want to be able to eat foods that you enjoy and that benefit you nutritionally, not just shoving something in your mouth because you're like, oh,
Right.
I need this protein amount, right? I
Right.
love that we've really opened up your mind to how to get your protein in because coming from being an athlete already, you were kind of under that, that kind of misleading conception where I have to get my protein from this one type of source, and now you have all these enjoyable ways of getting your protein that, you have variety, you can
Right.
season them, you can flavor them the way you want. You've learned the techniques for cooking and meal prepping. And now it's going to be something you can carry on for the rest of your life. And I know your family has enjoyed it too, because you're feeding your family the same meals, which is so great when we don't have to cook extra for ourselves, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've actually shared some, my mom and my sister, well, my parents and my sister and her husband, they're all vegan, and uh,
Yay!
they they've been vegan for a lot longer than I have. They've been vegan for years, but again, you get in that mindset of like, what else do I eat or how do I get my protein?
Mm,
So like the soy curls is something that I like introduced to them. They're like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's like you
yeah,
flavor it however you want. And the pea crumble, and stuff like, of course, tofu is like one of the more like well known, vegan proteins. But I've shared some of the recipes with them, and they've, very much enjoyed them. So
yes. I love it when we can inspire others and we can also show our family members and people who we love how to improve their health and still enjoy their food. Because what is life when you're not enjoying your food, right? You got to,
exactly.
there's a way to do both. And that's something we've shown you is you can enjoy your food
Absolutely.
and you can nourish yourself at the same time. I love it. I'm so proud of you, Marissa. This is amazing that you've come this far and that you really are loving every bit of the lifestyle now. That's so
Absolutely.
great. So I'd love to know, what would you say to someone who's maybe on the fence about joining the AZFIT Academy?
So I think you can't, you can sit in life and say, I want to do this, I want to do that, but not invest. The one thing or the one person that you should be investing in without a doubt, without any question in mind, is yourself, whether for, your health, what you want to be doing, all that kind of stuff, and as we get older, obviously, that has to come more into play. But, I wish I would have done something like this even earlier in my life, because then maybe I wouldn't have to be in a place where I'm having to, you know, reset my hormones or, put my hormones, back to where they need to be and all that stuff, and so it's definitely an investment in yourself and your future. It's an investment even for your family, because I'm a better person emotionally and mentally and physically, to be around my nieces and nephews. I have more energy.
Absolutely.
I can now share some of those things that I've learned with my family, and they're eating healthier. They're now eating a more balanced vegan diet
Mm,
versus, just the veggies kind of situation, which is what kind of
yeah,
like a lot of vegans do when they're not, they don't know about getting that protein in or how to get that protein source.
true.
Uh, but it's an investment, like I said, in yourself, in your future, for your family. But for me, most importantly, is like for myself,
I
because
love
I
that.
want to feel good. I want to look good. Um,
Do it for you because you matter, right?
right. And
Sure.
anything that's worth getting is going to be an investment, right? So, and it's a lifestyle, and it definitely, it's like this fog lifted. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it's like this fog lifted for me, and it really did, because I really thought like, in order for me to get my protein, in order for me to do this, like I have to just, eat chicken and or beef, which
Mhm.
were things that, I mean, I really enjoyed anyways. But it was like, other than downing like 4 protein shakes in a day, like how am I going to get, my protein? And so, um, but it's definitely, I feel like, like I said, it's an investment in yourself, in your future self, for your family, all of that. And I mean, there's no better reason than to do it for that reason.
Absolutely. So true. So very true. I love it. Thank you for that. And then the last thing is there anything else you'd like to say about your journey or share about your journey in the AZFIT Academy?
So one of the things, and whenever I talk about this program that I'm doing right now, that I tell like friends or like I've told my family, has been how awesome you and Anais have been with answering questions, with being available to me. You know, I might be like, hey, you know, I have a question about this. And if you can't get to it, Anais does, if Anais doesn't get to it, you do. Like, I always have a response. And for me, because I'm that person, I'm like that person that I create relationships. I very much, and so if I'm investing my time, my money, like the fact that I have that back from you guys and I'm not just another number, another, okay, this is, client number or whatever, yay, we made another paycheck or whatever. But you guys are really invested in like me. Like for me is just like I'm gonna get emotional.
Oh, you make me emotional.
Um,
Well,
because
we
that's
love
huge.
you. We love you,
Because that's
Marissa.
huge
You're
to me.
amazing.
Because it's like, you guys are, provide the structure, with the feedback, with, your time, and then like making me a better, person in the way that I work out, the way that I feed myself. Like it's like I said, I'm not just a number. I am part of the, family, and you guys are
Absolutely.
treat me as such as an individual, like as if I was your only client. Like that's all. That's the only way that I can explain it. I know
Oh,
you guys have tons of clients, but the way you treat me, it's like, you're one of my friends, and like
absolutely.
you're just helping me out and you're available to me. Like that for me is huge. It's not you just taking the money and being like, okay, you're on your own.
Thank you, Marissa.
So I really appreciate that. And and then just your patience with me sometimes with my questions.
I love your
but
questions. They're so good and helpful
but
for
I feel
us.
comfortable. Like that's the thing. Like I feel comfortable asking those questions, even if I'm like, well, I should probably know that. But then I ask, and you're like, oh no, and you give me the reason why that's the answer,
Mhm.
which I love. It's not just here. It's because I say so, and just do it. You go through our calls and explain. You'll show me pictures. You'll show me this. You'll show me that. Which you don't have to do, because there's plenty of coaches out there who don't do that. But the fact that you take your time to do that for me means the world. It really does.
Pleasure. My absolute pleasure, Marissa. You are a friend. You are family to us. We love you just as much as you love us. And thank you so much for saying those things. I think that, I agree with you. There are tons of coaches out there. One thing that Anais and I have in common is we are truly passionate about this. We really do love, our whole team is. We love helping others, experience what we've experienced in our journey to not only improve their health, their fitness, nutrition, but their themselves overall. It's not just about the physical, it's about the mental. And you can't do that by being just a number, as you said, right? You can't, you have to be connected, and you have to know that we're here for you, and that's what we love to do. We love to be here for you. And I think you asked some of the best questions actually that I've probably ever. Oh, I love your questions. I really do, girl. Every time I get a message from you, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, Marissa messaged me. It's either going to be an awesome question or it's going to be an amazing video of her showing off her gains. And I'm so
Right,
excited to see it,
right. Yeah, yeah.
So no, it's our absolute pleasure, Marissa. We really
Well,
have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed
I
it.
can tell, and that's the thing. I can tell that you guys truly are passionate about what you do. You're passionate about your clients, and their journeys and them being in a better place. And so, emotionally, not even just physically, but emotionally, mentally, physically, it's like the whole package, and that truly for me is amazing. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I'm so glad we could be that for you. Really happy. Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Marissa. Those were my questions for you, and I have enjoyed working with you. By the way, I want to formally congratulate you on advancing from level 1 of the AZFIT Academy to level 2. Yes, we're starting level 2 next week, and I am so excited for it, girl. You have made some of the most amazing progress, and you just, you're shining, you're glowing all through. And I am so excited to take you to that next level. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to get even stronger, even better. and we're going to continue this awesome family relationship that we have. I'm so stoked.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Of course, my friend. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.